Hey, how are you doing, Trae?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good.
Ah.
Little, getting ready for a big festival, so a little bit like woo, but really good.
Well, I'm glad you had time to give us today on the day with Trae. It's always great to have y'all come in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, y'all were here. That was last year. And I'm like, really? It's already that time again?
You're right.
It's crazy. So, welcome. Tell us more about your role and how it folds into this amazing, phenomenal effort for Northwest Folk Life.
Sure. I am Ben's co-director. I'm the managing director, and I sort of focus on, the exciting things like insurance and and finances, but all important things to making our events and programs go. And then also, as you know, we've interacted because we started a workforce development program for young cultural workers and creatives in 2020, and that's been a part of my purview also, is like trying to figure out how we can make sure there's like a birth to career pathway for cultural and creative folks that want to be in a sector and an industry that is steeped in, being able to make art, being able to perpetuate culture and heritage and history.
Yeah, that's so important. And as someone who was, a recipient of two amazing interns through y'all, it's just great because we need more of those kind of pathways. And I know they didn't always exist when I was coming up. We like kind of got in where we fit in. So you're doing the pieces that are anchoring though for this. I mean, without insurance, without having the volunteers that you need, it's hard to pull something like this together. What are some of the needs you're experiencing this year?
Yeah, I think as we're seeing all over the place, staffing is a thing. We are looking for about 125 festival staff overall, and I think we still maybe have about 80 positions to fill. Every year we have a great number of people that, do come back and work everything from stage managing to behind the scenes in production to our fundraising booths. As Ben said, it's really important because we're a ticketless festival and we work at the scale that we do, that we are able to engage with folks, really understand about the mission of folk life, how the festival and our programs serve to make sure that there is folk art and culture and heritage being talked about and being noted and being shared in the community. And that's done through a lot of community dollars. We call it community powered. So donations at the festival, donations to the organization. We also have some great sponsors and folks that, grantors that all help contribute to us being able to run in this manner where we can stay accessible. We usually have between 400 and 500 volunteers every year, 23 stages, about 10 or 12 different ways into the Seattle Center. As you know, it's a big campus and it's very porous, and it's also a place that is trafficked by so many people that are coming in just to experience a bit of Seattle. And so we really want to try to engage and really understand a little bit about Seattle and the Northwest through our festival. And so doing that one-to-one sometimes is helpful because you're walking into a place that has, so much going on. And so drilling down a little bit, getting tips on some of the things that folks maybe want to see depending on their interests, and those volunteers engage in that activity of helping sort of docent and navigate for folks that are walking in through our little welcome stations. And then, we are still looking for staff that also help work on the other end of that, just minding, the donations themselves, but also doing things like keeping our stages on track. When we have about 600 artist groups, we've got to be timely, like in a studio. So keeping folks on track. Also MCs that help really narrate and give a good way for people who just walk up to a stage, a way to understand what's going to happen, get them all excited about the groups that are performing. I think we also, this year, we're running our own merchandise booths. We have a new logo, which I think you can see on our website, and we also have a beautiful poster that was made by 3 artists, and of course, now that I say that out loud, the names are like out of my head. But they could be maybe we'll cut back to Ben or we can put them up. But there was a collaboration between 3 artists, and the poster art is gorgeous, and it's going to also be on shirts, and I think you're going to want to wear the beautiful work of these amazing local artists.
Well, this is one of those ways we're talking about some of the anchors in creative economy. You know, Northwest Folklife is definitely something that's known by so many folks. And I love hearing this, like the robust needs. I mean, it takes a lot to make something like this happen. You're talking about 400 volunteers, that's crazy. And 600 performers, like I can't even, you know, we do stuff like Emoja Fest and Juneteenth, and I'm like trying to manage like 20, you know, right? And already I understand like that's a heavy feat. So just kudos to you and the team for, you know, bringing this out for the public to be able to experience. Plus, it's on a weekend where we have also so many tourists coming through. And so I think it really sets a tone for how people experience the Pacific Northwest. How does that resonate with you, Reese, in terms of knowing that so much of your energy is poured into something that is being experienced by so many?
Oh, you know, like Ben, I feel very lucky to be holding a position that is just, I get to interface with so many folks, and really like folks that are leading, that are doing amazing cultural work. I get to be a bit of an advocate. You know, we have been able to get grants and contracts with the city to support some of the creative economy work, support the work that we're trying to do in moving to better artist compensation for like a lot of the free cultural labor that cultural festivals provide throughout the city, and hopefully not make that not free and volunteer of the artists, but still open to the public. I feel really fortunate to be able to be in a place where I see every day the opportunities to really highlight the good things that are going on in the city. You know, there's a lot of problems. We all know that. There's things that we need to address. There's things nationally that are bearing down on us. And I think being in the space of being around folks that have the energy to create solutions, to create an uplift to what we need at this time, to create connection back to, you know, the larger community, which is also a thing, right? Where like people are struggling to get back into this. I've been sitting in my living room for so long, or I've been afraid because there's so many things out there, and I think that I feel like being at the nexus of this has been really amazing. I also feel really fortunate, you know, with the workforce development program. I've worked a lot in my career with youth, and it's been really, really amazing to be able to see the energy and the will of our young people and our young adults that want to be in this industry, that want to have a voice, that they want to do something different. They see how things have gone, you know, and they are willing to step out, try new things, creating newsrooms, Ground Zero Radio intern, creating free art classes down at Blue Cone Studios with, you know, Julie and the gang. I think that's a huge part. You know, that internship has been not only a thing that is uplifting an economy, but I feel like personally it uplifts me just seeing that's the future of our economy and our industry and our ecosystem, and I think it's a really bright future.
Hey, well, you are so right about that. I mean, so much more could be said here, but you ended it really well there, Reese. I want to thank you for being here. Of course, look right there in that camera. Let folks know if they are wanting to be staff, if they want to volunteer, how do they connect? How do they make sure that they are there to support this amazing effort?
Yes, if you want to volunteer or you're interested in working with our festival or some of our other events that we'll have ongoing, please, you can email. The easiest is probably to email info@nwfolklife.org. Also, if you're really into volunteering, volunteers@nwfolklife.org. You can just go to the website, nwfolklife.org, and you can see what everything is all about. This is a kind of a quick overview. You can really get into it on the website, and you can see all the programs that Ben and I were talking about.
Amazing. Reese, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you so much for having us today, Trae.
Absolutely. Anytime. Oh, y'all.